Mockingjay, The Hunger Games #3 by Suzanne Collins. The Mockingjay's resolve. As the late afternoon sun cast a somber glow over the charred remains of District 12, a chill breeze carried the scent of ash and sorrow. Katniss Everdeen, the reluctant Mockingjay, stood amidst the devastation, her heart heavy with the ghosts of her former life that whispered with each gust. Gale Hawthorne, her steadfast companion since childhood, and now a key figure in the rebellion, approached with a familiarity that belied the growing chasm between them. "Katniss," he said, his voice a blend of comfort and urgency, "you don't have to bear this burden alone." She faced him, her eyes reflecting the turmoil within. "I know, Gale, but leading with such doubt, how can I be the symbol they need?" "It's not about being fearless," he reassured her. "It's about standing up despite the fear. You've ignited a spark of hope, Katniss. That's our most powerful weapon." Their path through the ruins led them to a group of children, their faces itched with fear and awe. A young girl, emboldened by desperation, stepped forward. "Will you save us?" she asked, her voice trembling. Katniss knelt, her fingers gently enclosing the child's. "I will fight with all my strength to secure our future," she vowed, the promise reigniting the fire of determination within her. In the days that followed, Katniss's inner world was a tumultuous landscape of memories and resolve. Flashbacks of her sister Prim's laughter mingled with the echoes of Peeta's voice, each a reminder of what she fought for and the innocence she yearned to protect. The weight of being the Mockingjay was a constant battle between the public figure she had to portray and the private fears that clawed at her resolve. As the day of the broadcast drew near, the studio buzzed with a frenetic energy. Technicians scurried about, adjusting the smoke machines that would shroud Katniss in a mist of defiance, and camera operators tested angles to capture her in the most empowering light. Yet, in the quiet corner of her dressing room, Katniss grappled with the stiffness of the scripted lines, each word a heavy chain of expectation. She practiced her speech, her voice rising and falling with the cadence of hope and rebellion. But it was the silent moments, the soft rustling of the wind through the ruins, the distant cries of the children, that truly spoke to her. It was in these sensory echoes of her shattered district that Katniss found the authenticity she needed to transform from a symbol into a leader. With a final glance in the mirror, she stepped into the dim glow of the studio lights, her face a mask of determination. A plea for ceasefire. Katniss stood before the screen, locked onto Peeta's distant face. "Our lives are not our own," he implored. "This war is for everyone's future." Conflicted, Katniss absorbed his plea. Peeta reminisced about their first meeting, emphasizing the war's toll on their identities. "I don't seek forgiveness," he declared, "but I urge you to lay down arms for our humanity's sake." His words struck Katniss, challenging her to consider the war's true cost. Peeta's call for a ceasefire left her contemplating the profound impact of her next choice on Panem's destiny. The room was heavy with silence, the echo of Peeta's words hanging in the air. Katniss stood motionless, her resolve wavering. The Mockingjay, the symbol of hope and resistance, now faced a choice that could end the bloodshed or continue the cycle of violence. She thought of her sister Prim, of the laughter and life that once filled their home in District 12, now reduced to ashes. The memories fueled a fire within her, a desire for peace that she had almost forgotten. With a deep breath, Katniss stepped away from the screen, her decision clear. "We find a new path," she whispered, a promise to Peeta, to Panem, and to herself. The war had taken enough. It was time to rebuild, to heal. It was time for a ceasefire. Defiance in District 8. The air was thick with smoke and the smell of burning. The once bustling District 8 now a smoldering ruin. Amidst the chaos, Katniss stood resolute, her eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of the enemy. She could hear the distant cries of the wounded and the anguished wails of those who had lost everything. "Katniss!" Gale called out, his voice barely audible over the din of destruction. "We need to get this message out, now." She nodded, gripping the microphone with the determination. "Is it recording?" she asked, her voice steady. "Yes," Gale confirmed, his eyes locked on hers. "Whenever you're ready." Katniss took a deep breath, her gaze fixed on the camera lens. "People of Panem," she began, her voice rising above the crackling fires. "We stand at the crossroads of history. The capital has shown its true face today, not just to us, but to all the district." She paused, the images of the fallen briefly clouding her vision. "But we will not be cowed by their cruelty. We will not falter in our resolve for freedom. They are mistaken if they think they can quench the flame of rebellion by shedding our blood. We are more than the sum of our parts. We are a symbol, a beacon that will shine against the darkness of their oppression. We are the Mockingjay, and we will rise from these ashes, united in our commitment to forge a new future. This is not a call to arms, but a call to heal. Together, we will rebuild our homes, our lives, and our spirits. We extend our hands in peace, for it is only through unity and understanding that we can mend the deep wounds inflicted upon us. Today we choose a path not of vengeance, but of hope. Not of endless fighting, but of ceaseless striving towards a world where every citizen of Panem can live without fear. We are the Mockingjay, the symbol of a new dawn, and together we will bring about a day when the sun rises on a nation healed and whole." Rebel propaganda. The camera's red light blinked on, and Katniss felt the familiar flutter of nerves in her stomach. Surrounded by the rebel crew, Gale stood beside her. "Whenever you're ready, Katniss Cressida," the director whispered. Katniss nodded, took a deep breath, and began to speak. "People of Panem," she said, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside her. "We've all suffered at the hands of the capital. But we are not broken. We are united, and we are strong." Gale stepped forward, his gaze piercing the lens. "The capital wants us to believe that we are powerless, that we have no choice but to follow their orders. But they're wrong. We have a choice, and we choose to fight." The scene shifted, and they were now standing amidst the ruins of District 12. The once vibrant district was now a desolate landscape of ash and rubble. Katniss's eyes filled with tears as she spoke. "This is what the capital did to my home. They want to scare us into submission, but we won't let them. We will fight for our freedom, for our future." As the cameras rolled, Katniss's voice broke, but she quickly regained her composure. "We remember those who have fallen, those who have sacrificed everything for us to have this chance, and we honor them by fighting back, by saying no more." Gale's hand found hers, giving Ida a reassuring squeeze. "Together we are more than just numbers in their games. We are the Mockingjay's wings, and with each beat we rise against the capital's oppression." The broadcast ended with Katniss releasing an arrow into the sky, a symbol of their soaring spirit and unyielding resolve. As the screen faded to black, the people of Panem felt a surge of hope, knowing that the Mockingjay and her allies were leading the charge for their freedom. Rescue and recovery. The air was thick with tension as BT laid out the final details of the rescue plan. Katniss, her brow furrowed with concern, listened intently. The mission was daring, possibly even reckless, but it was their only chance to save Peeta and the other captives from the capital's clutches. "Remember, the knockout gas will give us a small window of opportunity," BT explained, his fingers dancing over the holographic display of the prison layout. "We have to be quick and precise." Katniss nodded, her thoughts racing. She knew the risks, but the thought of Peeta, tortured and alone, spurred her on. "We'll get them out," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. The night of the mission, the rebels moved like shadows through the capital's underbelly. Gale, at Katniss's side, placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We're ready," he said. As the gas took effect and the lights flickered out, the team sprang into action. They navigated the labyrinthine corridors, guided by BT's expert knowledge, until they reached the prison cell. The door to Peeta's cell opened, revealing him in the dim light. "Peeta," Katniss called out softly as she approached. Peeta looked up, his voice weak but clear. "Katniss?" he asked. She nodded, offering a smile, and extended her hand. "Yes." They assisted. A symbol of defiance. The rebel encampment buzzed with activity, a stark contrast to the looming capital. Katniss, adorned with the Mockingjay pin, was a beacon of hope among the rebels. Gale approached, signaling the time had come. As she gripped her bow, memories of Peeta's suffering at the capital's hands flooded her mind, solidifying her resolve. "No," she stated with newfound conviction. "I choose a different weapon this time." Gale, momentarily puzzled, quickly grasped her intent. With a supportive nod, he accepted her silent bow. "We'll echo your words," he assured her. With the camp's attention on her, Katniss's voice cut through the silence. "We stand united, not as savages, but as the voice of Panem. Our unity is our strength against the capital's divide." Her words resonated, sparking a silent acknowledgement of their shared resolve. As night fell, the rebels stood together, not in celebration, but with a quiet determination that spoke volumes of their unyielding spirit. As the last light of day vanished, the rebels, emboldened by Katniss's words, dispersed to spread the message of defiance. In the quiet that followed, Katniss reflected on the power of a united voice against tyranny. The night air was filled with a sense of purpose, and in the hearts of the rebels, the flame of rebellion burned brighter than ever. Trauma and revenge. The scent of white roses filled the air as Katniss walked through the ruins. The Mockingjay pin lay cold against her skin, a symbol of the past rebellion. Gale's voice broke the silence, his face showing concern. "The ghosts of the past are with us," she whispered. Gale nodded, understanding the weight of their history. "We carry the memories, not as a burden, but as a light to guide us," he said. Peeta emerged from the shadows, his presence a silent support. "We honor them by living fully," he added. Gale placed a hand on Katniss's shoulder, a gesture of solidarity. "We build anew, together," he said. As dawn approached, they stood united, ready to heal and rebuild, their shared resolve a testament to the future they would forge from the ashes of their past, a future where the scars of battle would transform into hope. A surprising twist. The leaders of the rebellion, burdened by the war, convened in a room heavy with anticipation. Katniss, amidst them, felt the gravity of the moment. President Coin's proposal for a final Hunger Games using the capital's children sent a shiver through the assembly. Peeta's objection resonated with Katniss, echoing their shared values of compassion and change. "No," Peeta declared, his voice a beacon of dissent. "This is not who we are." The room buzzed with conflicting sentiments. Johanna and Enoberia voiced their harsh support for Coin's plan, while Annie and BT advocated for peace and unity. Haymitch's gaze met Katniss's, an unspoken understanding passing between them. In that moment, Katniss's resolve crystallized. She would not vote, she would not condone another cycle of violence. Her silence spoke volumes, her refusal to raise her hand a powerful statement against the proposed games. It was then, amidst the chaos, that President Snow's words about deceit echoed in her mind, revealing the true nature of Coin's manipulation. Katniss understood that Coin was no different from Snow, both using lies to further their agendas. With newfound clarity, Katniss realized the path she must take. She would not become an agent of vengeance. She would not perpetuate the cycle of violence that had engulfed their nation. Instead, she would embody the change she yearned to see in Panem. The room's tension shifted as Katniss lowered her bow, her decision made. "No more games," she declared, her voice resonating with a quiet strength. "We end this cycle here and now." Her words, a definitive end to the debate, left the room in a contemplative silence. Katniss's choice was clear: to forge a future built not on revenge but on healing and hope.